Yo, oh, just realized. I don't have my hat. That's better. Hi, what up, guys? It's Vlad. What a day. Today was actually a really got scared there for a second. I know, right? It's like weird. It was almost like being naked in a sense. It's like, guys, shut your eyes real fast. Kala, dude, thank you so much for coming in. What's up? Hello, hello. I just started this stream, so you came at the right time. So unfortunately last night we did not get the Dupestein list, which kind of sucks. Oh god, sorry. But it is what it is. I remember the same thing happening too whenever Steven wrote up that long thing and he put out like all the suspensions and the permanent bans, and it was like this huge long thing on Discord that he put out. We were expecting that to be sooner and it got delayed, and then it came out like later basically. So I pretty much think that this kind of thing is going to happen, you know, like at the same time, like, you know, like delayed basically. I did hear a rumor that some Polar got banned though, just a rumor though. Yeah, I mean, rumors are rampant right now, I would say. But yeah, there's a lot of people who message me and be like, Vlad, I really don't think a list is even going to happen. To be honest with you, what would be really goated, in my opinion, is if they actually made the Wall of Shame a tab in the Ashes of Creation website. So like when you go to ashesofcreation.com, like you can log in, or you can, you know, see like the news, see this, and there's like another tab that says like Wall of Shame, and you could literally go there and see like an up-to-date list of like the dates of when these accounts were banned, the account names, the guilds they belong to, and it's basically just a list, and sort of like with text on it that says like, you know, hey, you know, excuse me, if you're playing our game, these are things that we will find unacceptable and you will be permanently banned, kind of thing. I think that would be so awesome if they made it that public, right? Not just in the Discord, but like an actual thing in the Ashes of Creation official website. That'd be so cool. Have you gotten a chance to watch Zabek's new video? I have not, Mag. Today, I spent the day all day with my family. It was an awesome day. The kids were amazing. Me and my wife had a great time today. It was honestly like one of the best days we've had in a while. So no, I haven't had a chance to really do much of anything as far as YouTube, or just I literally turned on my computer. I was telling my wife, like, when do you want me to stream? And she's like, you can stream now. I was like, that's why I booted everything up. Let me see. I don't understand why it's so important to get a list when I actually think it's a good thing those players did it, so Intrepid can do something about it. I understand where your point of view is coming from, Demon Hunter. And believe me, we want to find exploits and dupes and, you know, bugs and things that are critically wrong with the game. But you have to understand there's a certain player that finds these things and reports it and, you know, doesn't tell anybody, like, because they know, like, they're trying to preserve like the sanctity like of the game. But then you have people that find these things and abuse them to all hell. And again, those are the players that I'm mostly talking about here. The people, the malicious people, the people that, you know, are literally charging, you know, $20 for an add-on to get like GM commands. The people that find these these exploits, like the fishing lure thing, or even the you know, the duping, right? Like the duping of items or materials, and just doing that repeatedly over and over and over to then you not only inflate the market, but also completely topple the market in what's real and what's fake, and then selling that shit in RMT. I mean, literally, you can go to some websites right now. I know Nice did it like on channel, where you can go and see the full Rosarium Gil for like $700. You know, this is what people are doing. You know what I mean? It's wild. And people right now are literally afraid to buy anything. Like they're afraid to, you know, buy anything in the marketplace because they still don't know, like, well, is this a real item? Is this a duped item? Like, I don't want to just spend my money and then I lose the hard-earned money that because it's hard to make gold and ashes, at least for some people. So, so those malicious people might be the minority, but it's usually the minority that fucks it up for everybody. And believe me, you just need a dupe like that to ruin an entire economy, an entire server, and it could happen. You know what I mean? And I think you are right in extent. It's not like there's 60% of people all using the dupe loop or the dupe exploit, right? It's usually like a very small subset of people. That's very true, very accurate, very accurate. But those malicious actors truly ruin it for everyone else. And I want those people to have the hand of God and punished and permanently banned. And let's just be real here too. Permanently banned on that account means I can just buy a second account. And I've heard some whispers and seen some screenshots of certain people that were banned that are also back. I don't know what Intrepid's policy is regarding that, right? Like if you were permanently banned on one account, does that mean you, the player, are banned or just that account is banned? Because I can tell you this, those malicious people that had that ill intent, you don't think they're going to have that same intent on their second account? You know what I'm saying? So that to me is the thing that really gets to me. I'm even afraid to get resources to give to someone to craft in case it's in their inventory already and has been duped. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people right now are just, there's some people that have been at a point right now where they're wanting to take a break right now. They're like, hey, I'm at a certain point. I kind of really don't care. But since all this shit's going on right now, I think I might just step away from Ashes until like this shit gets sorted out, which is I think a very level based take, to be honest with you. They should do hardware bans. I feel like whatever step Intrepid wants to take, I'm all for it. The harder it is for those individuals to get to play Ashes, the better for me. Seriously, the better for me. And of course, most people have like other laptops, they'll have other computers. I mean, especially those people that are very, wealthy can just buy and hold a new computer. But I feel like the more you keep doing that, and if you keep going, right? So let's say as an example, you get a hardware ban, and then that person's like, okay, I got to buy a new computer. They buy a new computer, they start doing the thing again, and Intrepid permanent bans that account. There's only so many new fucking computers you're going to buy before you're just like, fuck it. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't want to, I already am like 8,000 in the hole for buying 2 brand new computers. Like, I'm not going to, I don't care. Like, and they'll fucking stop, but they have to keep up the attitude. They have to keep up. Like, we are going to continue to do this. This is the minimum that we're going to do to you, which is a permanent fucking ban, a hardware IP banned, and other factors potentially that they can do to make it even harder for you. The more they can fucking do, the better for everyone else in the community. Like, that's just being IP bans don't work either because most people just use VPNs. Well, that's what I mean, right? Like, and it's not saying I don't use a VPN, but I think again, when it comes to the malicious people, I think a lot of them use VPNs. Right. So if you're talking about like the casual person that may have fucked up and did some malicious shit on the side and they hope they didn't get caught, and guess what they did? Those people might just be like, all right, fuck it. I'm just not going to play Ashes anymore. I got caught. I don't want to start over. Like, fuck it. Right. But I'm mostly talking about like all the very malicious people. Does the game make so much improvements if they released does the game make so much improvements if they release the ban list? No, those are completely two separate things. Them making improvements to the game and a ban list is like apples and oranges, really. I think really what's going to happen is with this ban list, it's going to improve the overall morale of the Ashes community, which I think is a good thing. I think it's something they need to do. Well, I just got into town real quick. I have mail and I had auctions. And oh my god, I sold my legendary limestone. Let's go. Oh my god. Sold all my basalt. Oh dude, I'm gonna be rich. Oh man. I even sold my commodity certification. Oh, that is so good. I'm going to put more of those up then. That is so good. How much gold do I have now? Almost 10 fucking gold, dude. Let's go. Oh my god, I needed that so much. Um how much H or how much? I sold my I found a legendary limestone and I put one up for 475. I think I'm going to put another one up right now and I'm going to put up some more rare cuz I was going to put all my legendary limestone, but I decided to just do the one. Because it's very expensive to wait, why didn't it split? Second. Split stack. There we go. All right. And then I'm gonna buy some more Jova commodity certifications in the auction house. You see, where do I get my cosmetics in? Done support tickets, and they said it should have been resent. On the website, it says I have it, but I can't find it in game. Really, it's going to be in the mailbox. If it's not in your mailbox, then you're gonna have to put in another ticket. Because like that's where it's supposed to be. Okay, let me put this back in here real fast. But I do want to watch Zybek's video. I just wanted to do some shit first in game. So I'll put limestone, tin, zinc, and Jova commodity. Let's do 475. So yeah, it's like 23 silver just to list it. Because I was gonna put all 5 of them and it was like a gold something. So if I can sell that again, that'd be awesome. Oh wait a minute. Okay, I still got legendary 10 still there. All right. Let me see. This reminds me I need to finish making that bread for the market. Yeah. Let me see. Zybek has been coming out with some bangers. Dude, yeah, Zybek, I love Zybek's content personally. It's so much fun to watch. I think his takes and his points of view are really, really awesome. They're really good. And I just enjoy his takes personally. I really enjoyed having him for my 1v1. I thought he was a great fucking guest, and I would love to have him back. See, if you're selling that for 4 gold legendary iron, no, it's not legendary iron, it's legendary limestone. I tried, you can't gamba the limestone. Okay. So I'll put it back up for 25. There we go. That needs to be back on the 1v1. Any stone gambas? Hold on. Let me go over here real fast. But that means, okay, because I know I can probably gamba. If I can gamba, it should be over here. I mean, I don't mind selling the... Oh, my zinc fragments are done. Good. Sand. Oh, I can. Oh, what do I get? Iron, rubidium, lithium. Oh, wow. So it's a whole bunch of shit. Would it be worth it? I'd rather just try to sell the limestone, to be honest. Ooh, I can even crush slate. Oh, I can crush slate for 10? All right, so try to make my zinc ingots now that I got these fragments. Wait. It's like I forgot my fucking mount. Let me do that real quick. Let me just have these in the cooker. We'll watch Zabak's video afterwards. Just want to get my shit. Hold on, I think I don't know if there's anything in here. Okay, so I got my copper frags, ingots. Should probably start to. I should probably start selling my copper ingots. Okay. There's should have. Okay, I'm gonna have to bank these because I think I'm saving up to get more zinc. If I'm not mistaken. So I need, what is it, 60? So I need 120 uncommon zinc. And I think I don't have that right now. I have 20 and a 40. So yeah, I gotta keep going with that. Let's see. Heroic. That in there. Any idea where to get June's Kosh? I am sure someone in the chat knows. I have no idea where you can get that. To be honest with you. What are you trying to craft? I am trying to get stuff for my jewelry. So I'm trying to get the copper, like uncommon ingots, uncommon zinc ingots to make the petal shard jewelry. So that's to me the first thing I want to start doing. So I need the copper ingots. I have the rubies. Then I would just need to basically get the steel bloom emblems. My goal is to find a high level jewel crafter with like a lot of quality to potentially get me heroic petal shard earrings. So that's basically my goal. And I've just been saving everything. Like I want to probably try to get epic rubies. Like all epic rubies and then uncommon here. And I think with that blend, I should get heroic. If I find someone with high enough quality, like shirt and, you know, someone that just has, you know, we have a jeweler in guild. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't care, like guild, you know, whoever. I mean, I know a lot of our guilds in the anvils, but I'm not done making everything or gathering everything yet, but that's my goal with all these ingots and stuff like that. And I do want to sell some of them. I want to sell some of my common copper ingots and zinc ingots and stuff like that. So that's definitely another thing that I want to do. If you need people for emblem farm, I'll help. Yeah, I mean, I would love to go to Steel Bloom because I'm level 17. I mean, I could literally level, like level there. Okay, let's head out. And then I'll pull up. Let me pull up the video right now. Give me a second.
All right, everybody.
All right. So it's queued up. Just give me a second while we head out. Man, I'm so happy, dude. I had like hardly any gold. And now I have a lot. And that's without doing the sports fishing too. Because sports fishing's been literally fucking me. And it's been kind of nice. I just don't know, like, and I don't know if Pockets, if you would know, or if anybody in our guild would know, like as a fighter, like what two-handed weapon I should probably start going for. Because I'm even willing to change, like if it's the two-handed axe, because I really want to try to get like a heroic axe done. I just want to find out which one I should go for. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, I'm even just thinking of getting something temporary, like an uncommon something just to have. I'm looking at Glory Bound, and that's around 200 copper ingots. Ooh, yeah. I have a lot of copper. I've been making a lot of copper ingots lately. Just like common ones. But I feel like that's kind of like the play right now, right? Is to use like uncommon ingots, like anything that's like very absorbent. Like if it's like 100 or 200, like you can, that weight of rarity is super low. 2 iron fragments. This is this at epic and legendary is where your oh, okay. I actually think I have an epic fragment or an epic iron in my bank. I think I got to double check. And Weeping Willow times 21 also helps rarity. Oh, Weeping Willow. That's the one thing I just have common, and I think a little bit of uncommon Weeping Willow right now. I have not found too much of the Weeping Willow stuff as I farm. I do try to get it, but you know, it is what it is. All right. Let's go ahead and watch this video real fast. Give me a second. All right. Headphones. All right, let's go, guys. Let's see what our boy Zabak's talking about. So this video is they have to do something soon or people will stop playing. Okay.
It's time for the Ashes of Creation status report. Now that we're about a month into early access, let's start off with the good things. Player population has been incredibly strong. Even
it has.
The most optimistic of Ashes of Creation.
I mean, we have like a 15% dip in the entire month, which is quite crazy. And if you look at the dips of like MMOs in the first 3 days, it's very drastic. Every dip is like very drastic. However, with this particular time period, it happened to be in one of the most popular holiday seasons, which is December. So a lot of people were off. So take that as a caveat a little bit.
Fans probably didn't think that the player retention was going to be as high as it is. However, I can assure you that is going to change rapidly in the next week or two, especially the next 2 or 3 weeks. If something doesn't change, I am dead ass serious. They have to do something, or there will be a massive drop off in the player population in the next couple weeks, if not sooner. So, in one of my previous videos, I was talking about future problems coming to Ashes of Creation. That video is 100% spot on. Unfortunately, many of these problems are beginning to show themselves. The game is turning into Farmville. We're now very much in the Farmville era of the game, where everybody is farming for materials for their gear or farming for gold to buy their gear. That is the only thing on people's minds right now. And this is a multi-pronged issue. The first big issue is that the difference between crafted gear and white radiant gear is massive. It's just huge. There's
every breakpoint from novice to adept. Like, I'm not even joking. I had really good novice gear, and having white adept gear was so transformative. Like me trying to kill a minotaur at level like 9 with novice gear compared to trying to kill a minotaur that was like level 8 minotaur, level 9 minotaur with being level 10 and having all adept gear. I didn't have to worry about dying. And I can't even imagine the jump between Adept and all white Radiant gear. And again, I think this is just a simple number tuning at this point, right? Because I think the break point of where Novice is going into Adept, I think it's too much. There's too much of a variance.
A massive amount of vertical power that you gain from going from just baseline level 20 gear to a crafted, even green set, but a lot of people are going from baseline Radiant to like a blue or sometimes even heroic on some pieces, and that's just a huge difference. Yes. And there's zero gear in between that because nobody is farming any of the drop gear out of Carfin. Nobody's farming any of that stuff because the drop rates are so low, and a lot of the pieces that you would get are really not that great at all.
I thought they improved the drop rate though for gear. Like, is it still like abysmal, like at these places, especially the dungeons? Like, I would think like if you want to have them kind of low around the POIs, which again, when I was doing this in the PTR, people were very much saying like, wow, like gear feels like good. Like we're seeing gear drop, but like what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like what happens to that?
Especially when you compare them to what you can craft. So there's no in between. There's no wiggle. It's just you either have it or you don't. And the power gap between those that have it and those that don't is huge. So that is the only thing people are focused on. Now, my cope for this is my cope, is that maybe this is totally fine and that with enough time, this problem will solve itself. And that as the economy develops, there will be a lot of very accessible green and blue crafted gear that functions as that in between. Where, you know, a new level 20, it's like, oh, you're a brand new level 20. How much gold do you have? Oh, you have 10 gold. Well, guess what? Go buy your green grave plate, 2 gold a piece. That'll start you off, and then you'll move up to blue, and maybe there will be more of a progression, more of a ladder that's not so violent as the jump between white radiant to crafted blues and crafted heroics that people are doing right now. And my real concern is that this massive vertical power spike, I think, is going to turn off a lot of new players, because honestly, it turns off a lot of veteran players too, because the meta is just incredibly low skill in an environment where gear is mixed up and you have people that have it and people that don't, and the people that have it are quite literally two-shotting the people that don't. It's that bad, and I'm worried that a lot of people are going to a lot of newer players are going to get in PvP fights with and just get two-shot and go, this is stupid, and not bother to experience the game. I think they need to compress this gap some. I understand this is an MMORPG. I understand that your character getting more powerful is a huge part of the game. It's a huge part of what people like. But does your character have to get that much more power? Like, do we need these dramatic jumps up the tier list?
I'm more of a fan of skill, but I feel like this is the problem with it's not even mindset, it's the feel. If gear going from novice to adept doesn't really feel any different, then people are going to call for it to be buffed, right? And I think there should be some vertical power in it, but again, it's a numbers issue, right? Like, I think the numbers are just too fucking high, like, clearly. But I mean, this is a problem that most alphas have, is just the number variance in a lot of things were just way too skewed, right? It just needs to be, this number needs to be up, this number needs to be down, this number needs to be, the number's okay, you know, yada yada. I mean, we've been doing that all this time throughout this entire year of Alpha 2. And I think when it comes to PvP right now, like, yes, you know, this is an issue, but I feel like and maybe he will cover this, but I feel like the greater issue too is the PvP in itself. Like, PvP has been a huge problem, because people having to resort to like griefing mechanics and can't actually like truly PvP. There's no incentive, and it's a lot of people don't have like what you're seeing on screen, right? With Zybeck going into like being flagged, seeing someone else flagged, and having like a meaningful world PvP battles. Like, it doesn't happen often, you know, it just doesn't. like for the normal player. Let me see. But I have faith in Intrepid to figure this one out. This issue, how did that powerful gear get obtained? If it was done legit, then we're all good. If it wasn't, needs to be resolved. Well, I think when it comes to just the gear right now and the threshold of you getting like white radiant and then upgrading it to like going from like the base, what is it, 20 item level 23, then to getting an item level 26, and you're crafting that item level 26 and it's like a rare or heroic piece from like, let's say a white, you know, base radiant, which is like a metal level 23. All that is just a number issue. Like the jumps of the item levels and those thresholds are just a little bit too high. And so I think we talk about like TTK, but anytime you have someone that's in adept gear potentially, or isn't all in radiant, and you have someone that is very much all in radiant, there you are going to get two shot. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's in a game like this, gear is going to matter for sure. But if gear doesn't matter, hold on real fast. Here, let me just log out real quick. Make sure I don't get like messed with. But if gear ultimately doesn't matter, like, because I know if you were,
I know 12 inches pretty well. Let me see that.
If you were in all adept gear as a level 19 and you were facing like a fresh level 25 with all radiant, and you were having a very meaningful battle, I think you as level 25 would feel very, I wouldn't say upset, but just like, how the hell is a level 19 giving me like a run for my money kind of thing? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I'm not saying that the situation should be a 2-tap, you know, of like, but there is going to be certain variances where it's just going to be like, oh, I'm lacking gear, I'm lacking this. Like if we're talking like fair battles, you know, is those numbers a little too high? Maybe not, you know what I mean? But I think especially in a lot of world PvP, like you don't know what the other person's wearing, right? And you have an idea of what you're wearing. And maybe if you are doing some duels with people that you have an idea or you exactly know what they're wearing, then you'll have a better example. But I think when it comes to like just normal world v world, like you're going to find someone who's very squishy because they're not in the same gear as you are. You put in way more work to make your gear, and they haven't, you know, or at least not yet. So there is going to be some variance there where you could potentially kill someone, even level 21 compared to level 25, that can be both in radiant, but your radiant gear is like item level 26 and his is, you know, maybe he's all in whites and some uncommons and stuff like that. And that person will feel it when that other person starts attacking them, you know? So it just depends. Gear is everything. You're just going to need 600 trees to make one shield. Yeah. Right. I saw a level 25 get clapped by a level 14 because he was wearing adept gear still. Wait a minute, you saw a level 14 kill a level 25, or the level 25 got clapped by the level 14, or are you talking the other way around? Because I would assume you would mean a level 25. Wait, really? A level 14 beat a level 25? Wow. Well, again, and some level 25s aren't in all radiant gear. Like that's very true. Like, I mean, right now I would say leveling doesn't really matter. All leveling does is give you the breakpoints to use the better gear. I would say a level 20 that has all, of course, radiant blues on compared to level 25 that all they did was just grind at a POI spot, and they have like, basically they're still in some adept gear. Maybe they have 1 or 2 pieces of radiant or whatever. That level 20 will clap level 25. Like the power you get from leveling in this game is nowhere near the power you get when you put on a really good piece of gear. Like those two are completely different. In phase 2, we saw this too. A level 16 had epic adept gear with it being plus, oh yeah, not even the fucking enchanting too. That was another thing. It was able to 1v1 level 25s. Yeah, 100%.
Like the amount of power gain you get from going from like epic to legendary is huge. Like maybe it shouldn't be that big. Maybe you should get less and less returns the higher you go up the tiers. And I think they definitely need to have a little bit of an in between. I think that the fact that nobody cares about
if you're literally trying to make a legendary and it's the return isn't as much, like you better just make an epic. Like, I don't know about that, because the amount of work it is, especially now with static rarity being gone and it's true like RNG. Like, if you had the ability to make a legendary, like, I don't know, like that's a pretty big accomplishment in my mind. Like, I don't want legendaries to feel like meh in that sense. I mean, they're fucking legendary. They should feel pretty damn powerful, you know?
drops is really bad. You also, there's a huge amount of RMT temptation with the way the vertical power is right now. You have a lot of classes that are disproportionately more powerful than they should be because we're in a very low skill meta. The amount of dog shit rogues I'm seeing flock to the class because they can just gear check people or RMT and two-shot people is crazy. Coming from somebody that played rogue in phase 2.5, which was a much slower TTK, a much higher skill meta, there was hardly any rogues because the class was hard to play in that context. But when you can just backstab, triple dump your backstab and just kill literally anything, everybody's playing it. So it's not great. And then you have like the cheat. Like, I feel like I'm playing CS:GO where like somebody does something suspicious and it's like, are there that many cheaters or are people just cracked out at the game? And I've just had a lot of instances. Like, I'm going to show with this fighter I'm fighting here. He hits me for a 1600 wallop, non-crit, 1600 wallop, non-crit through my armor and through my 25% damage reduction I get through my pet.
Jesus.
And then he hits me with a brutal cleave. He two-shots me. But a 1600 for those of you who don't know, wallop is, it's not really like this is not like a high damage skill. This is not like a maim that's modified by the damage.
I mean, it can be if they're at full momentum. I mean, wallop it's supposed to hit hard the more momentum you have. I can't see what his momentum is at, but that's how wallop is kind of designed. Mostly it's not supposed to hit like a truck. I mean, it's not like overpower or anything.
Damage. This is not, he didn't have berserk rolling. This was just literally a stock standard 1600 non-crit wallop through my armor and through my pet damage, 25% damage reduction through my pet. Like, and then I see the guild he's in. This is a Chinese guild that I've seen multiple people fly hacking in. How am I not supposed to think that's bullshit? Like, how am I supposed to be like, oh, maybe he's legit? Maybe this is not a guy that's in insane duped gear. I don't know. I'm just calling bullshit. Like, I think this guy's probably...
And I think it's this process of them banning accounts and going through and sniffing out these people, like it's paramount. And this is the sentiment that I was talking about, right? Like the reason why this ban list is going to hopefully reinvigorate the community, because it could be a two-sided effect. Like, if there isn't enough accounts on there, that could also be very suspicious in the sense of like, because it feels, and there isn't, that's very anecdotal to your experience. But everybody I talk to, I always ask, do you feel like there's a lot of people cheating? And the answer is always yes. And if there's like around 20,000 to 30,000 people who've been playing early access, and you see, well, only 100 accounts got permanently banned, most people would be like, that is not fucking accurate. You know what I'm saying? Because the people would be like, I know 50 on my server alone that are suspicious behaviored accounts. And I think Intrepid really, like, if they're taking their time, and I've seen people on Reddit say, oh, my account was permanently banned. So accounts are being banned right now. Like, and they were being banned a couple of days ago. I think Intrepid has been slowly like banning people left and right. And I am really curious to see like the number of people, because I think there are guilds that if you see, again, a large number of guilds that are, wow, like we found 30 fucking people in this one guild of RMT. In my mind, like, why not comb the rest of the guild? If there's 130 people in that guild and you found, let's say, 30 accounts in that guild due to your backend automated system or whatever, right? Wouldn't that be cause to investigate that one specific guild further? Right? Just kind of check behaviors, check trades, check fucking everything. You know what I mean? And I think this is the point that Zybeck made in his last video when it comes to these high profile guilds, right? The very notorious guilds. You have to check them. Like you just do. Like you have to check. You got to make sure, because any, like, you know, when you're on a boat, you know, and you have leaks coming in, you can't just always look at the major leaks, because even the small ones, if there's enough of them, can still fucking sink the boat. And I think that this is where it's like, yes, look at all the large guilds, do all your due diligence and all that, but you have to check. Like, especially all the guilds that are known to be these Chinese gold selling guilds, like you fucking have to check that shit. And I really fucking hope Intrepid is doing that due diligence and researching and investigating all of those fucking guilds. You see, what if a guild funneled all RMT and duping through one guy, knowing full well everything that guy handed them was RMT'd and duped? Well, I mean, and again, there's going to be certain things, there's certain sophistications. You have to understand too, these RMTers have been doing this long. This isn't their fucking first rodeo. This is even their 100th rodeo. A lot of these people have been doing this shit for a long fucking time. And anything that can protect the sanctity of their account, they're going to fucking do. But just like anything else, those people usually slip up somewhere. And it's because they always suspect the companies will be idiots. Like, that's fucking borderline true. And I really think that if Intrepid is going to do what they need to do, and then I would feel like these Chinese guilds are going to have to like start, oh shit, okay, so we're dealing with a company now that actually gives a shit. Because I think these RMTers have dealt with companies that literally give no fucks. They can go into a game, swarm it, fuck it all up, fuck the economy up, bot it to hell and back, and their accounts are still there. They can still play the game. Like they don't get they don't get banned. They don't get even slapped on the wrist. Like these companies just like throw their hands in the air and be like, all right, yeah, as long as you're paying us money, we don't give a shit. And that literally causes the whole morale, the whole gaming community within that game to just dwindle. And real players quit because they see their game being botted, RMT'd, like gold inflation, just fucking all that shit. So I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, that's why I cry for leatherworking to be focused, not armor, smithing or weaving. Bro, I've been saying Lineth is fucked because no major wants to go GM Hideworks. Yeah, like I said, the whole hunting system has just been fucked. I hope they can or release that new system of theirs regarding to hunting as soon as fucking possible, but we'll see.
Probably a cheater, and I really have no like definitive proof other than like, man, that seems like a lot, and just going by my other pattern recognition clues that my human brain has developed over thousands of years. Man, it's really not great. It's really not great when there's this much vertical power combined with the RMT, combined with the duping. That brings me to the next thing they have to do something with is the bots. The bots are getting...
You see, the RMT issue is much worse than people think. Just on G2G on Ashes, there's so much gold/items accounts being sold. Gold is being sold for literal pennies. And what's funny about that is when gold is being sold for almost nothing, it's for a multitude of factors, right? One, they have a stockpile of it, right? They have a bunch of fucking gold to let go, and they just don't care. Like, they want people to buy it. Whenever the risk is high for them, gold will be a lot more to purchase. Like, it's going to be like, yeah, to get 5 gold is going to be not $5, it's going to be $15, because the risk in us trading and us getting this gold or risking our accounts to be banned is too much. So this is what it is. But because it could be something that they're, they have a lot of it, they're not being banned, they're not being tracked. Like, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that I think they have to be very diligent in. Let me see, trade would be easy to find. Yeah. If they have their backend tools incorrect, I think it should be easy too. I don't know about Intrepid, but I know from a different company running an MMO, they have so much data to check for RMT, fraud, etc. Most people have no clue how much insight they have. Well, I would pretty much agree with you, Seek. I think there's a lot of companies that have been doing this for a long, long time, but Intrepid hasn't, right? They've been developing their architecture, their backend architecture for a while, for a year now. Rufus, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream, man. And I think the continued refinement of it is important, because all these behaviors, they need that data, and they need the tools enable to track said data. So this is just something that I feel like is just so important, not even for them, but for us, right? For the community. And love the convo. Thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you. You see, I'm not a PvPer, but I really think Zyback is getting smacked by a Fizz as a lightwearer. I mean, potentially, I don't even know if Zyback's in light armor, potentially. But I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know all I know is that if that guild is known to be a Chinese RMT guild, Intrepid has to see the flags. You know what I mean? If they're seeing red flags multiple times with the same guild, like, and they know, oh, well, there's 100 people in this guild. We know 10 of them did some shady shit. They need to fucking comb through the 90. You know what I'm saying? They need to make sure, well, what else is this guild doing? Who are the people this guild is trading to the most? Because they could be trading to another phantom guild that's also theirs. And then that's where other shit happens too. And then that's where you start connecting all the fucking dots around these RMTers, because they funnel like fucking crazy. You know, that's one of their tactics. Let me see. I was shocked that week 1 we had gold spammers in chat. Oh, I wasn't. We had it in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But what I did love is that over time you saw the trades, at least on Shoal, be less and less and less. I'm not saying gone, but way less. And I think that was really, really good. Hello, New World was my first ever MMO, and ask, why do MMOs not just use the New World start of weapons equal damage you deal and armor equal type of defense only? Well, Speedy, thank you so much for coming in and having a chat with us. I have not played New World, so it's hard for me to talk about something that I literally didn't even play, and nor do I understand how the New World mechanics worked in that sense. But I would say Ashes is doing stuff very differently with stats, defensives, gearing, TTK, and it's just going to take a lot of feedback, and it has taken a lot of feedback, and just it's going to continue to be reiterated and refined just over time. And we've been through so many different reiterations of TTK and gearing and stats that it's just going to be literally an ongoing process, even past launch. Like, that's never going to stop. But we got to get it to a point at launch to where it feels good for them and good for us as the community. Zyback is in light. You can see his buffs. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Light armor. Yeah. Heavy armor. Oh, okay. So you have at least that indication right there. That could have been it too. Doesn't matter if Zyback is right or wrong. It's the doubt. Doubt can screw everything. Oh yeah. Doubt is literally what, doubt is the thing that plagues people into thinking of something more than what it could actually be. Right? Like the RM tiers, like, could be less than 2% of the whole population across the entire 30,000 players. But that 2% can be very fucking devastating. Like, don't get me wrong. Right? Like, it could really destroy a lot, especially if they're very effective in what they're doing. But even if it was 5%, I mean, again, you start increasing that percentage and it just gets exacerbated to such a degree, and it can just be so fucked for the game. Let's keep
fucking
going.
Crazy. Like, I'm a June Dark gamer, as you can tell by the footage you're seeing. Spent a lot of time in the June Dark, and for the longest time, the June Dark was pretty bot free. But the bots have begun making their way to the June Dark, and yes, we have iguana tech to kill the bots, but there's only so many iguanas in the June Dark, and the bots are beginning to overwhelm the iguanas. And Trump's got to do something about these bots. You know, he's going to be tough on China, but here we are. They're fucking everywhere. But in all seriousness,
what is he doing?
Like, damn, it's getting pretty bad. So let's hope they've got a fix coming for the bots. It's not a great look. The big thing they got to do is ban the buyers. If there weren't anybody buying gold and buying gear and shit, then there wouldn't be these bots. It would not be worth their time and electricity and their
nice. Love
their
that shit.
opportunity cost to bot this game versus other games.
Because all the bots are probably now level 10, which has the PvP protection. So if you can fuck them by, basically getting them out or getting some mobs around them, because they're hitting F, right? They're hitting buttons, which means they can auto attack. That can mess them up.
So you got to ban the buyers. We need the fucking Finny files. Come on, Steven. Fucking ban these people. Ban the buyers. And now, the probably the most offensive thing that they need to change. This has to fucking change. And the reason why this is offensive is because the game was better previously. 8 months ago, the game was better. A year ago, the game was better in this regard. And that is, there are no PvP loops in the game. Beyond killing Chinese crate runners, there are no new PvP things. In fact, there are less things than there were.
100% agree, Mag. 100%. I've gotten 4 bots this phase. Pockets 4, bots 0. Let me see. Will this game be free or not? No, this game will not be free. This game right now is $50 on Steam. When the game goes live, it'll be $15 a month. It'll be just a subscription, no box cost. So, let me see. Not sure if unbalance is the word. You just needed a ton. Ensure you have the right gear for the right opponent. In AOC, I only need to concentrate on physical damage and I'm good. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff where the whole you mixing certain gear sets together, like light, medium, heavy, like and heavy gear being more physically resistant and more light gear and being more magically resistant. It really is going to come to into account of like what class is attacking you, right? If you're an all heavy and you have a tank and a fighter, then you're not going to be taking as much damage. But if you are, whatchamacallit, like if you're in light armor and or I'm sorry, if you're in heavy armor and you're having a mage attack you, sorry, I completely said it wrong. I was like, wait. If you're in light armor and you have a fighter attacking you, you're not going to be in a good time there. If you are a fighter in heavy armor and a mage is on you, you're probably not going to have a good time. You're going to be zapped to all hell and back. This is where I have to fully disagree with Zyback. We had PvP almost every single day in Suspect. We fought maybe 15 different guilds this phase alone. I would say in what Zyback is talking about is more like the actual caravan PvP loops and the lawless zones, right? Like just having those two things provided a lot of meaningful PvP content for players, but now it's so sparse that you would have to literally create your own PvP loops, right? And I think Crates to an extent is bringing that, but not the way it was with caravans, because you can just become an attacker in a caravan and boom, now you're flagged, shit can go, start going. And it's just not like that with Crates. It's just a whole different mechanic. Wait, how do you kill the bots without going corrupt? Wait for them to go into the water or drag mobs? No, you drag mobs. That's what Zyback did. He pulled some iguanas and some flowers and just put them right on top of the bot. And then instead of the bot hitting F to like gather, the bot started attacking instead because there was enemies near, and that caused them to just die. Because the bots are super low level. They're only, I think, level 10 to not be killed or harassed against other players because they have PvP protection. So that's basically how they're dying. Let me see. You will drag mobs over, which will cleave an AoE mob. Yeah. Yes, but those lead to unfair fights where your numbers are more than theirs. It's targeted at lopsided fights, not fair fights. The ones I've killed were auto attack bots, so I pulled extra mobs and sometimes flag them, help out the mobs. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that you have to agree with Zyback, but I'm just saying that that's the point that he's making regarding PvP.
A year ago. This is kind of crazy to have the Harbingers patch drop and nobody does the event. The Harbingers is irrelevant. The event is bugged. It's not worth doing. The incentive structures are fucked. It's a brand new feature in the game that nobody on any server is doing. Like, what are we doing with this? Like, I hope they come back from this break that they've been on for this winter break. I hope they come back and fix it, and maybe people will start doing it. But dude, it's kind of crazy that nobody is doing the core feature of the new update, right? And that brings me to my next thing. Like, what is the priority here? Because
I feel like the whole Harbingers thing was a complete wash, to be honest with you. I think they needed something for early access, like some kind of a reference, some kind of entity to like entice people to come and play. And the Harbingers update just kind of showed like a villain kind of thing. But I completely agree. Like, I think the whole Harbingers event is a complete wash. I think they need so much more work on it. And it's not even, it's just the first phase of it. There was supposed to be like 3 phases to this whole story arc event of the Harbingers, and we still only have the first part of it, and the first part has been bugged. People have literally been dying inside settlements because if they did partake in the Harbingers thing, then you just automatically, there's like a bug where you automatically just go combatant like anywhere in the world. So if you're in a settlement and you just go poof if you're right next to the marketplace person or whatever, I mean, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? And some people are like saying like, oh, well, that's completely unacceptable. Like, I've heard people say that, but to me, I don't think it's unacceptable. It's an alpha. Like, shit's going to be bugged. Shit's going to be wrong. To me, what's unacceptable is to literally paint this whole early access with Harbingers and no one can even really do it. Like, even if that bug, like, okay, let's also put it into another context. Let's say that bug didn't even exist. What are you doing at the Harbingers event? What are the rewards? What are the materials you're getting? Like from what I've heard, everything that the Harbingers event, you can't do anything with. They're all just useless items. So even if the bug didn't exist, the phase, in my opinion, or the event in itself is still a wash. Like, how can you put in something like that and not have anything worth anything? Like, that to me just makes no fucking sense. Let me see. Also, no more winter breaks, stagger the breaks so people they're working it out. Let me see, a game question. I am a citizen of Jova, and when I created an alt's character that was citizen of Jova, even I never went there, can I drop that citizenship of my alt and not lose it on my main? No, Seek, you can't do that. Citizenship is literally account wide, and that's for a purpose. The reason why is because when it wasn't account wide, you had people that were multiple voting for mayors, right? So if your guild, say like your person in your guild wanted to be a mayor, like a guild master, you're like, oh guys, don't forget to vote for me on your main, and also get your alt level 10 to vote for me on there too. So now they just got rid of all that. So now whatever you are a citizen of on your main, you're the same citizenship on all your alts. If the Harbinger event rewarded some gear, I would play more, but right now I can't bring myself to farm gear. Well, yeah, I don't even know if the Harbinger event even gives you gear. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I haven't done it myself, but I've heard from people that have done it that it's just not even worth your time. Like, and that sucks. If it worked in the first place, yeah. One thing is the entire game that's good is combat. Every other system needs to interface with your abilities to have fun. Yeah, I think combat, like I said, it's always been in a good spot. This is why people have been advocating, like Zyback, for more PvP, because they want to engage in the combat more, right? Like, if you are a PvP mindseted person, hitting mobs isn't going to be satisfying to you. You want to hit real fucking players. You want to do combat with real people. And right now, it just doesn't feel like you can do that to a lot of PvPers. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we have to keep, we have to keep doing. Let me see. So question, what happens now when they fix these systems and adding the missing content? Will they wipe the servers? Will it just continue? I think it could depend. I think it just depends on what data they want. If they need fresh data because there's some systems that they've done in the back end regarding settlements, regarding the the vassalization when it comes to potentially economy. Let's say they want to, now with all of the dupes being fixed, like if we wipe the economy, will we automatically start discovering a whole other dupe or another exploit or another thing? Because just like anything else, when you wipe it, those people that want to be ahead artificially due to cheating will have to figure out some new way to cheat, which means a new bug or exploit could be found, right? And that's another thing about wiping that's very beneficial. Let me see. I wish I had the useless materials, but everything up there is level 33 stars, and I'm nowhere near that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Hardly anybody is. Everyone worried about people voting on multiple characters. We have election winning sub 100 votes. Well, it's because some people, some guilds actually like help out like other guilds in that sense. I mean, I've heard, I have no proof, but I've heard that people buy votes. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's just like, hey, I'll give you 10 gold if you vote for me. Or I don't know if it's I'll give you 10 real dollars through PayPal, you know, if you vote for me. I don't fucking know. Like, but that's what I've heard.
Because like, surely it's not PvP. Maybe the priority has been economy. Dude, it's just crazy that the game for PvP players has been worse than it's ever been for like 8+ months. That's not even a hot take. Go ask any one of these people that's been in a PvP oriented guild that's been playing since phase 1. The game for PvP players that actually want to do like real PvP that's not just killing the Chinese, it's worse. It's fucking worse than it's ever been. So Jesus. I think that is probably I think people can stomach the bots. I think people can stomach the TTK being a little weird because, they did changes to itemization. There's a lot of new issues that have popped up with Steam Early Access and just more players. And I think people can stomach that. But just like, how has it been worse for so long? It is just crazy. Next point, the Fenny files. So the bans. We have to have the bans. The ban list needs to be real.
Let me see, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of these PvP issues should not be happening, taking into account of how long they've been working on this project. I mean, I would say that stuff can go backwards. Believe me, the treasure map system was really good in phase 1 and 2, and now it's like terrible. So, I can say that sometimes in testing stuff does feel like it went backwards and we got to go backwards to then go forward again. But that's what testing is all about, right? And I think because players all have different mindsets as to what is important to do in the game, to any PvEer, their priority isn't PvP. So all of what Zybeck, if I am a PvE minded person, everything that Zybeck is saying is completely useless to me. That is not the priority. To me, the priority would be story arcs. The priority would be content. The priority would be different game loops that I can engage in that is different from just grinding at a POI for hours and hours on end and me hitting rocks. Like, there needs to be something else. Like, in my mind as a PvEer, that's what I care about. But everybody's going to have 3 different top priority things. And if we all put our list together, we could have all fucking different things of what Intrepid should be prioritizing. And that's the problem, right? Because Intrepid has to fucking pick at the end of the day. And, sometimes one particular subject or system is on everybody's mind. And then Intrepid can be very easily be like, oh, okay, clearly that's what people want to fucking structure or want for us to do. So let's focus on that. But right now I feel like they're being pulled in thousands of different ways. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, they need PvP arenas ASAP. Boring of lack of PvP always leaves griefing, which snowballs into many things. Yeah, I think people could agree with that. I think instant scene is definitely one that would also benefit PvEers too. This is what happened to my group. We love the PvP in Ashes, but there's just nothing for PvP besides fighting for farm spots. Yeah, I know. That's what I've heard. Let me see. Sorry, but in my opinion, Steven lost his ability to call Ashes a test, not a game, when he launched early access. I mean, if that's your opinion, like, I'm not gonna take it away from you. I just disagree. I think early access is nothing but a Steam label. That's all it is. Like, if we weren't on Steam, we wouldn't be calling this early access. And I've said this before many times. Early access is nothing but a moniker for Steam because there isn't a moniker of alpha or beta even. Like, any time that if it's prior to launch, like if it's not the actual launch of your product, you have to label it as early access on Steam. So if there were different tags, like if there was an alpha tag on Steam, then that's what Ashes would be labeled as. It wouldn't be labeled early access. It'd be labeled alpha because that's where they are. But some players, I think, are just upset at Steven or upset at Intrepid for taking so long. So they want to like begrudgingly say, well, because you're in early access now, like I'm not going to give you the tag of alpha, because that leaves, if I do give you the tag in alpha, then that leaves certain things to be more wiggle roomy, or like I have to like understand that there's going to be problems or issues or bugs, but I don't want to give you that wiggle room because I'm upset that you're not launched already, and I'm upset that you took so long to be a product. You know what I mean? So I mean, and again, I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Wade, but I've heard people say that, and that's why I'm saying it. Let me see. A good point. Thanks. Arenas is a great idea. Gives us a chance for players to have fun and test weapons /gear. Well, that's why people have been dueling a lot too. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be very interesting. Let me see. It's a moniker for early access to what? A game. Steam is not a test store. But if it's not a test store, then why do all the other games are labeled early access? You know what I'm saying? It's because there isn't another tag that they can put as a gaming company. You can go look yourself, man. Like, Ashes is still an alpha development game. Like, if you want to call it early access, that is still factually true too. But saying it is also alpha is also true as well. What are they granting you early access to? The alpha. The alpha game that you see right here before you. Honestly, I expect this game to take 10 to 15 years to develop. I wouldn't take that long. I think realistically, I think we could have a viable product. I'm not going to say it's completely ready, but I think a viable product by 2027, if not 2028. I think more realistically, probably 2028, but we'll just see what happens. Let me see. MMORPG players have been so hungry / thirsty for the next WoW for like 20 years. The reason we jumped on every single one, and when it's close to making it, probably gets the harshest critiques. Oh, for sure, because everybody has in their minds what they want in an MMO. And when they see an MMO and it doesn't reflect what they want, they hate it. Because now, because everyone knows how long it takes for MMOs to come up, for MMOs to develop, now I have to wait even longer for the one that I have envisioned in my head of systems or classes or things that I want from it. And this game shows none of that. So fuck, now I got to wait again. Intrepid is in Blizzard or Square Enix, and those took 6 to 9 years to make their game. Well, yeah, for sure. Because Blizzard and Square Enix had like a shit ton of players or shit ton of developers working like on those MMOs. Intrepid isn't, oh yeah, I was at that. Game likely will be out 2029, 2030. It could be. It very well could be. Like, I would rather them take their time than to rush out a product. Like, that's my thing. What are you talking about? The game is launching in like 1 to 1.5 years. I would say that I could realistically see them launching in 2027. I just am still skeptical if they could hit all of the systems necessary to be in a 1.0 foundational based system and not have it feel, from a player standpoint, hollow. You know what I'm saying? Or basic. A lot of system match creation are not basic. And I mean, again, just look at the node system or the settlement system. Look at artisanship. Look at all the professions. Look at how it is to create a piece of gear. Look how it is to do a lot of fucking things in action creation. It's not simple. So I just want them to have more time, because that gives us more time as testers to go in these systems and to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what still needs refinement, what still needs to be added, maybe even subtracted, like all that shit. I personally just don't want to feel rushed. Let me see, 2 to 3 years, I think it's alpha. You cannot treat it as a full game, in my opinion. I played plenty of alphas that went horribly wrong, but fleshed out later once bugs were reported and the community spoke. Yeah, and again, I've talked to a lot of people that have done the, like, a friends and family, like, alpha closed tests, that have been a closed alpha tester for other, like, Eastern MMOs, even some Western ones. And those processes have always been, like, if you've ever been a part of those, you know how janky that shit is. Like, you know how fucking aggravating those tests can be. And I think many players just don't understand that about this game, because they've never, like, any person that's been truly aggravated or comes in here like super angry or upset, I'll ask the question, have you ever like closed alpha tested an actual MMO before it launched, not a beta of an already existing expansion or anything. I'm talking the full foundational MMO. And I would say about 98% of players always say no, because it's hard to get in those things. You don't have like, it's not like those closed alpha tests invite like thousands of fucking people. Sometimes it's only just a couple of hundred, and they all sign NDAs. So let me see. We need to understand Toby Payne playing We Took an Oath saying we are okay with playing an unpolished game. I'm okay for gathering / crafting, but devs one second. But devs need to listen to feedback. I feel that releasing around Christmas and the downtime due to holidays feels like the game isn't making much progress. I'm curious how updates from February onwards will impact the game. No, I agree with that. They did the same thing last time too during Christmas. There was no progress happening because they weren't there. They all left on the 20th of December and came back on the 5th of January. It was the same last year. And it was the same kind of sentiment from the players, because shit is going wrong in game every single day. And they're like, where the fuck are the devs? Why isn't this fixed? Why isn't this going on? It's like, because they're not fucking there. They have a skeleton crew until the whole team comes back on the 5th. Let me see. People also need to keep in mind that Ashes is trying to put together a good product. Most companies, aka AGS, put out games when it's not ready, fix it over a year. New World, for example, in my opinion, this stream early access is better than New World's first 2 to 3 months. I would say New World had a fuck ton of issues. Like that is very factual. But Ashes in early access has also had its share of issues and problems. Is it comparable to New World in that sense? I mean, probably not, because New World had some very severe issues in its first couple of months, even its first month. But I think, you know, Intrepid does want to take their time. They don't want to just release this game in a fucking horrible ass state. I played Fallout 76 at launch, and this game has way more game loops than that logged in. Interesting. I never played Fallout 76. Hello, I am new to AOC and do not know what class would be best for a beginner-friendly class. Well, Desmir, thank you so much for coming in. My name is Vladis. I exclusively talk about Ashes of Creation. That's what I'm a consecrator of. I would ask you, what MMOs or what classes in MMOs or what main class in MMOs do you usually gravitate to? If you've never played an MMORPG before, please let me know so I can give you better context to my answer. See, I have about 3K hours in this game, and it's not a failure at all. I'm curious if you've played, why you feel that is. Let me see. How can you have 3K hours in a game that doesn't exist? New World was garbage compared to Ashes. Legit had no marketplace for 2 weeks. I did not play New World, so I've only heard through everything through Josh Strife's Hayes, like analytics of New World's downfall or whatever. Black Ops 629, do you thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream, man. I have similar hours. Combat is S tier. Everything after that is super buggy at best. Yeah, that's very fucking factual. That's very fucking factual. Desmir, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Okay, let's keep watching. We're almost done with this video.
We need real action, because just like what the clip I showed with fighting this Chinese fighter, who I'm sure is totally legitimate. Maybe I'm accusating him when he shouldn't be, but 1600 while up through with no damage modifiers.
Well, I'm a WoW player who's over the game and want to play a new MMO, but this game isn't really new player friendly. But I have healed, DPS, and tanked, so I've done it all. But this game seems different with any weapon combo and such. Yes, I am also a WoW player too. I played WoW for 20 years. I usually mained a hunter and warlock, and I main a fighter in Ashes of Creation. I would say because of how easy the first 5 levels are in Ashes, and how it not similar to WoW, but in WoW you get your talent tree at level 10, and here every time you level you can actually put a talent point into an ability. So at level 5 you'll actually have a good amount of abilities to play with, and you'll find out very quickly like what your kind of play style is. Fighter's a shit ton of fun. If you love melee, I love fighter. If you're like a mage is very magey. But I would say a new player friendly class, a cleric or tank, would be really good because you'll always be invited into groups. You'll have the luxury of either doing shit solo or by yourself if you want. Bard is also something that a WoW player has never really experienced. The Bard in here is actually a true support class. So I would say if you're brand new and you've bought into early access, take your time. Don't feel rushed, and try out at least 3 classes out of the 8 and just see which one you like more. Like, try them all out. You know what I mean? Like, go onto different servers and because I know you only have 5 character slots, but my recommendation for the first 3 would probably be cleric, tank, and I don't know, probably bard. But I mean, there's rogue's a shit ton of fun. Fighter's a shit ton of fun. But it also depends on what you want to get out of it, really, as far as like the combat or the gameplay in itself. Let me see. I have about 208 hours according to Steam, but I feel pretty good. Feel like I got my money's worth, and I fully plan to play more again on the next big update. I was a tank main, by the way, and it was fun as fuck. Once you get full radiant, feels like an actual tank. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's very much a like once you actually get geared, you're gonna really see what your class is capable of for sure. Let me see. In my opinion, not New World, new player friendly is accurate. Ashes is more about the speed of advancement. Is solo slow, very much so, but you have so much you can do solo that's fun. I just hit level 20 and only grouped once the entire time. I also have a few classes level 15, no groups. Yeah, I've been leveling my entire time and I've only grouped up once with my guild. That was it. I went from like level 13 to like level 15 in a group. In a 1 group session, and that's the only thing I've done so far in a group. But I've been playing majority of my time solo. Let me see. I leveled about 4 classes to level 8 through 10. I think Mage and Bard seemed the most fun. Rogue is a second close for followed by Fighter. Yeah, I like I said, there's so many classes. Like if you're a WoW player, there's probably a lot of classes in this game that you might gravitate to. I tend to gravitate to something that I normally don't main too often, which is like my warrior in WoW, which is like a fighter here, but I've been really enjoying it. You see PvP and Zyback, or PvP Andy Zyback, his PvP centric POV really shows how he wouldn't care if Ashes died from not retaining PvE players as long as he got to PvP the Ashes to its demise. Well, I would say that, people just have different focuses. Like I said, like if you're a very PvP oriented player, you're probably going to agree with a lot of Zyback's points. If you're a PvE focused player, this video is a nothing burger for you. Like literally, like he talks nothing about anything in a content loop for PvEers. Like he's just talking about PvP because he's a hardcore PvPer. Let me see. I feel like Fighter, Ranger, Rogue in that order. Yeah. I mean, I think Ranger, in my opinion, Ranger needs a lot of fucking work. At least for me again. Again, I gave Steven the pass. I still do not mind the clearly a bug stuff. Now when they say a lot, yes, the game was more fun when you could avoid the unfun systems. Well, I think in most tests, sometimes you can avoid a lot of the janky systems. And right now the sports fishing system has been really messed up due to the fact that fish has been going out of bounds. And that's something I don't want to avoid, because that's like my main money generator is sports fishing. And if I can't do that, like I feel very fucked, So I really hope that doesn't end up like happening for me,
Non-crit through my armor and through my 25% pet reduction when he's in a guild of fucking people I've seen flying around the map. It's really hard to have that happen to you and not go like, man, this guy's probably cheating. But we have to have the bans. We have to have the bans.
True.
The bans need to be public. Steven can't wiggle out of this list. As of the recording of this video, the list is not out. The list is late. We were told it was going to be dropped 2 days from now or later this week, and here we are, and it's Saturday, and we still have no list. So maybe it will be worth the wait. I hope, because I feel like if this list comes out and it's a nothing burger, and there's a lot of people not on it that should be on it, I think there's going to be some drama. I'll be honest with you. The Finney files are real. I have not personally seen the Finney files, but I have talked with people that have them, and there are people on there that I know. It's fucking awkward. It's really fucking awkward that there's people on there that I know, and it's real.
Is he talking about the actual ban list? Like he's talked to people that have seen this list? I don't know if that's really true. I really don't. Again, people love to fucking talk in Ashes. 100%. People love to be the gossip queen and almost lie through their teeth about certain things. Not saying that Zyback is lying, but I don't think that anyone has seen that list. I really don't. But I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
And a lot of the people I know that are on there, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not blown away that they're on there, but it's like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like I can see it, right? So it is fun, I will say.
Oh, the list of people are Armenteed. Oh, okay.
Into the meme of
got it.
The files. Like no game calls their ban list the files, but the community started calling it the files as a joke, and now he's calling it the files. So I like that people are having fun with it, because at the end of the day, it's super fucking shit. Like it's super shit that we have all these retards running around two-shotting each other with this cracked out gear. It's really stupid for anybody playing legitimate. And again, I think people can stomach it for now, as long as these people actually get banned. But if they don't get banned, people are going to be very upset, myself included.
Well, and that's going to be very hard, because a lot of these people that are doing stupid, shady shit already have second accounts. So again, and I feel like this is going to fucking happen. I'm going to be a little bit of Nostradamus here, and you're going to see someone on that list, know who that person is, because maybe they were an ex-guild member, maybe they are your guild member, you know, maybe you know them, you know, based off of some group or something or whatever, and you're like, that person said they were banned, and that's a fucking lie, because I see and I have them as a friend on Discord, and it says playing Ashes of Creation. How the fuck are they playing Ashes of Creation when it says on this list they're permanently banned? Because they have a second account. So what do we do in that case? Like, if you see someone on this list who's permanently banned and you know they have a second account, do you just report that player's name and say, hey, this person was permanently banned on this other account, you need to permanently ban this other account too? Then they might buy a third account. You know what I mean? Like, some people will just keep fucking buying accounts. You know, like, that's what's going to fucking happen. And it's, again, it's going to be satisfying to see people who did get actually banned. But like anything else as gamers, you're always going to try to circumvent the system. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how the community sentiment's going to be by those same people circumventing those systems. Like, because I would very much assume that they would be calling to Intrepid to ban their accounts, all of them. And I'd be very interested to hear what Intrepid would say on that. Like, are you banning the player, or are you just banning the account? Because if you have proof that a player has multiple accounts, then report them to us and we will take care of it. I hope that is their stance, but that's not how most companies operate. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I think that's really it. You know, I had some other things on my little notepad here I wanted to talk about, but they're so minor in comparison to this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What's your overall vibe on the game? You know, I think there's a lot of really good stuff going on with the early access.
Oh, sorry guys. Let me see. Great stream, by the way. What say you? In crates having a higher system, you can split earnings for players to act as a security on the travel, even up to playing files against thieves. So that's something I think Intrepid wants to leave up to the players to do. Like, I'm in a guild called Suspect. We are a mercenary group, and I don't think we've been doing this too much in early access, but you can hire us to help your guild, or help, you know, a group of you, or just a solo person, and make sure that your heroic or epic crates get to the destination correctly. Like, that's what we are doing in our guild. And there's a lot of guilds that are going to be doing kind of the same mercenary work too. So I don't know if they want to actually build something into the game like that. I think that they want to leave that up to the players to facilitate and to do. And that's where the sandbox comes into effect. Let me see. I like the idea of flagging the gold sellers and letting them do what they want, and ban the people that buy gold from them. Need to put the fear in buying gold and let them let their accounts just run dry, or let their accounts just fucking build up cobwebs because no one's buying from them. Again, if enough decent people stop buying gold, or even the malicious people that are trying to buy gold keep getting fucking banned, the sellers are just going to be like, what the fuck? Like, we're not, like, no one's coming to our website. We haven't made a fucking sell in days. Like, what do? We can't fucking advertise in the global chat because all of those accounts get banned. Like, if you keep making it fucking harder, I'm hoping, and eventually, like, I hope, but I think this is also a pipe dream. This is just me being super optimistic, is that most of those sellers are gonna be like, let's just go fucking RMT the games that we don't even fucking get a slap on the wrist for. Like, fuck Ashes of Creation. Like, we're probably not going to make much money from this game anyway. I hope that's what happens. I just doubt it. I just doubt it, is what I'm saying.
A lot of the systems have gotten better. The Summoner class is a couple fixes away from being something super cool and super solid. Even right now, I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's just a couple of little things that are really big pain points. And I like that the masses, for the most part, are really fucking with the game. But, big but, a lot of these people are starting to hit level 25, and they're not going to be able to stomach Farmville. They're not going to be able to stomach this shit. They're going to run into cheaters with duped gear, and they're going to get two-shot by people with even legitimate gear. So, hopefully the economy and that entry level, like, blue and green crafted gear will become much more accessible, and maybe I'm chicken littling right now and don't need to be. But anyway, that's just my rant. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have a good one.
Yeah, I personally think, and this is such a good video, let me go ahead and give it a like. Here, I'm going to share it in chat. If you want to go ahead and watch the video, give it a like, sub to my boy Zyback TV if you liked his content. I always appreciate it. And the reason why I watch his content, as a PvEer, let me be very specific, as a PvEer or a PvE minded person, I like being well-rounded. I don't really do much PvP in Ashes of Creation, so Zyback is pretty much my go-to person to get filled in on the PvP news. I don't like to stay in the echo chamber of PvE. I know what problems PvE has because I'm a PvE minded person, but it's hard for me to look at the looking glass in PvP and understand the qualms or the problems or the reasons they're frustrated. And Zyback's kind of like my lens into that part of the community. So, let me see 1 second. How do other MMOs manage RMT? Don't they end up selling it themselves in the end? Yeah, some of them do. If you can't beat them, join them. And that's why the pay to convenience or even the direct pay to win in the marketplaces and some MMOs, that's why they do it. Because wouldn't you rather be safe and not get your account banned by buying from a third-party seller when you could just literally buy it from us, buy it from Kakao, buy it from NCSoft, buy it from Blizzard, like that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's the same shit. But honestly, for me, like as someone who really loves the economy and loves the game loops of creating gear or like, because I think if they don't wipe and they end up expanding from levels 25 to let's say 30, I'm going to have some really good gear. You know what I mean? To get on, right? And I think someone said it in chat earlier, but yeah, I truly believe that, or behind the video, you can certainly see how buyers destroy the game so fast too. Who wants to play someone who's bought gear that can basically two-shot people, completely destroys the game. Completely agree. And this is why I think it's just very, like, let's just put this into a realistic example. There should be certain factors of, hey, I got into the game or I'm in game right now, and this random person just comes up to me, opens trade, and trades me 7 pieces of the Rosarium gear with me either trading 0 gold for, and also doesn't, like I give them common zinc as my trade, some 20 stack of common zinc. Like, why the fuck would anyone give you a full set of Rosarium gear for that? It's because they probably bought it on a third-party retail site, and this person's just delivering the fucking goods. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, I think, again, I really hope they're modifying and really detailing their back end tools to pick up these red flags, because to be honest with you, like, I really do think if you don't ban the sellers and you just have them all marked, I said this, like I said, last year when I talked to Steven, and you just ban the fuck out of the buyers, like, you're literally telling me that I bought something for $700 that I got in game, and then like not even a day later, I try to log in Ashes and my account says it's permanently banned. I'm out fucking $700 and I can't play the fucking game. Like, that person's going to be beyond pissed. And guess what? You should be, because you're an idiot who bought fucking digital pixels for $700 for what? To prove to other noobs in a fucking alpha that you're better than them? Give me a break, dude. And that person may never play Ashes ever again. Bye. I don't give a shit. You know, and if they do buy a second account, I hope you learned your fucking lesson. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing. They have no tools and just hope their message scares people for now. I disagree. But the conversations I've had, I feel pretty confident 100% that they actually do have tools. I just think it's about refining them. It's about making them better. That's my thing. If someone is exploiting a system and you blame the player and not the system designer, just why? If someone is exploiting a system and you blame the player and not the system, well, if there's an exploit, you have to fix the exploit. Like, but you also have to blame the player for maliciously exploiting the exploit. Like, and I've said this too about the fishing lure thing. They fixed it finally, but if you were constantly logging out because you didn't get the right Titanic fish and you kept logging back in to make sure that every single time you got a Titanic fish and made a bunch of money, you should be banned. Like, I have zero fucking qualms with that. Let me see. Then why not follow through on their words? Well, I think they are. I think it's just they need more time. Like, clearly this list hopefully will come out this week and we will see. We will see what they do. I used to play a lot on our Olids online. I think maybe said Albion, maybe, I don't know. It's the meaning of pay to win. People would spend thousands a month to stay on top. Never understood it. Yeah, I think it's just big small PP energy personally. That's just my take. Culture matters. If players didn't accept cheaters among their ranks, we would have less issue, but too many consider winning the only thing that matters, not the health of the game. Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. How often is someone with max gear coming to kill you though? I'm not too familiar with farming in PvP zones, but it seems pretty low chance. I don't know. Like, my whole thing is that if you just bought a shiny new set from an RMT'd website, wouldn't you want to go and try it out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to probably go to areas flagged up and see who will flag up against you so you can, you know, put them in their place kind of thing, right? And you're probably right. It probably doesn't happen often, because I think it's fucking insane to buy a full set of Rosarium for $700, because who the fuck would do that? But let's say you did. I would say most people would try to flag up and try to see who can fight them. I doubt they will do anything if they are already planning to wipe accounts. Maybe when they wipe, they will also sweep up the cheaters. No, from what I know, they've already been banning accounts. There were several Reddit posts that I've seen of people saying, hey, like, I was banned unfairly, like I did nothing wrong, like why did I get account banned, like please fix. And so whether that's like a false ban or whether that person is just trying to get out because maybe they bought something or maybe they found some RMT stuff, like I don't fucking know. Maybe they were trading people that were also the other person was a part of these Chinese gold selling things and they were getting some stuff, and you know, I don't know. There's just a whole bunch of shit they gotta do. I've seen the advertisement in game chat, so they are self-identifying. That's how much they don't care about consequences. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Simple question. Everyone just answers in abstract. I'm trying to bring it to reality. What would make Ashes a failure? If the full release has a lower peak than the early access release, would you call that a failure? I would say yes. Like, if you're telling me like the 1.0 launch of Ashes of Creation launches, like, because let's say the peak was 30,000 and they launched with like 15 or 20,000, That is a huge fucking failure. Huge. But if New World, as broken as that fucking game was, could launch with 1 million players, I think Ashes of Creation is just fucking fine, to be honest with you. I have no doubt that it's going to launch with hundreds of thousands of players worldwide. I have no doubt in my mind. I know for a fact if Flyer was banned today on my server, they added them to the ignore and they didn't show up. They were banned. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, 90% of time I've seen someone say I didn't do anything and I got banned. They did do something. Yeah, no, 100%. All Lids Online was a Russian WoW type MMO. It was basically space pirates with magical swords and guns. You had a rune system that was tiered up to level 13. Oh, interesting. It was increasingly more expensive, real money to level up those tiers. Oh, I can see that. I mean, Russian MMO, probably similar to Tibia, because Tibia isn't that like a Russian or German MMO too? And that game was pretty pay to win, I believe too. I mean, they've done zero marketing. Yeah, they haven't, but I don't really think they need to do any fucking marketing. Literally, all Steven needs to do is literally Asmongold, Tim the Tapman, Summit 1G, and you basically just go to all the streamers, all the gaming streamers, and then it'll literally fucking trickle down to everyone. Like, cause that's what happened when New World came out. Any Fuchsia was playing New World. Stoops was playing New World. Everybody was fucking playing New World. As broken as that fucked up game was, everybody was fucking playing it. Ashes is literally gonna be the same thing. Now, how much retention it'll have afterwards, right? So New World launched with almost 1 million players, and then they ended up going down to, I think it was like 100,000. So they lost like almost like 90% basically of their, or I would say like almost 80% of their base, which is huge. So let me see. Sure, that would be a failure, but they had 8K on the mega server and 31K on early access launch. Right now, their server tech isn't functioning as they want. They don't have 3 additional starting areas, and both would be, and both of those would solve the issue. We are still constantly holding around 30,000 a day. I'd say right now, the last time I checked, we're actually doing about 20,000 a day, which still is great. Like, I think that's amazing. I thought we were going to be dipping way more than that. All right, Vlad is going to our guild event, so got to turn you down. Have a good rest of your stream. Hey, thanks, brother, for coming in. Appreciate all the answering and stuff. Thank you. All right, so let's go into the game, do some shit. 20K concurrent, but 30K per day users. Oh, really? Nice. Okay, that's pretty awesome. I agree. New World was a Daster opening game, but keep in mind New World didn't monthly payment. That's true. There was no monthly payment in New World, but New World did cost, I think, what was it, $50 or was it 40? I forget. And I can guarantee you paying $15 if you had a really, really good experience is a lot better than 40. But it just depends. Like, I don't mind paying a monthly fee for something if the content is good. Like, that's my thing. Because even if you got 2 months worth and then you're saying, okay, like I did everything I needed to do in this game and I can take a break, that's $30, right? So then you're literally just like saving money at that point if you want to take like a month break or do whatever. But eventually, like if this is an MMO that you really want to dig your time into, I don't think $15 a month is bad in that sense. Not every game could be New World or Guild Wars 2 where it's just a one-time box cost and then you can just, because in order to do something like that, you need to have, I would say, pretty egregious marketing practices in your marketplace, right? Like Guild Wars 2 has a shit ton of pay to convenience in their whatchamacallit, in their shop, along with cosmetics, along with like, a whole bunch of other shit. Like Ashes is only going to have in-game cosmetics. And New World, surprisingly, never went down the pay to win route, which I really thought they were, especially after the monumental launch they had. I thought the executives would pressure the devs or just pressure the game into a pay to win model, and they didn't do that. So, but New World, Amazon Games, rest in peace, was backed by a multi-billion-dollar company. Intrepid is not a multi-billion-dollar company. So Like they need some kind of, you know, generative monthly income they can do to sustain Ashes of Creation. 24K peak today. Oh, that's nice. That's real good. I remember paying $15 a month back in 2000 for EQ1. Yeah, I mean, people pay $15 a month for Final Fantasy 14. People pay $15 a month for SWTOR. People pay $15 a month for World of Warcraft. I mean, people pay a monthly sub for MMOs because that was like the standard. If you're going to play an MMO, it was usually going to pay $15 a month. And then there were some MMOs that started to come out that had different pay models, right? So it's entirely up to you. Like, I'm not saying you have to pay $15 a month, or if you want to pay $15 a month, you know, if there's a sub fee and you're like, hey, that's not for me, well then, hey, Ashes isn't for you. You know what I mean? Like, but I would say that, you know, Intrepid does need something to get on their feet monetarily, and cosmetics alone isn't going to be enough. They need years worth of money to get out of the red and to actually become a profitable game. Like 1.1 million people saw Asmon's Ashes play review. Would that even be a good conversion rate for an entire base? I would say it's Asmongold's one video of doing that showed 1 million players where Ashes of Creation is currently. As we get closer to launch, Asmongold will then play it again, and it'll potentially be 1 million, maybe even more than 1 million people. So the marketing, in my opinion, is already done. The people that watch Asmongold, well, at least right now, right, more political. He's become way more political lately, which I personally don't like, but he's doing what he loves. That's fine. But Asmon is very much still a gamer, and a lot of people still value his opinion when it comes to MMOs because he was a longtime World of Warcraft player. But I think him alone is doing all the marketing. Everybody else is just gravy, you know, whether it's like, again, Tim the Tatman, Summit 1G, whether it's all like the more smaller MMO creators, like all of them are going to help in that sense. Let me see. I prefer paying if it means real game masters. Yes. And that's another thing we're getting to, actual live GMs on every server, which is really fucking good. Like, man, I haven't seen a real live GM since Burning Crusade. Like, and that shit was awesome. So, Zybag brother, what's going on, dude? we just finished your video like literally about a couple minutes ago. Another thing to think about is how much time they kind of are wasting cleaning up this crap. I don't know how much about making a game. No, yeah, anything, and this is why dates are always subject to change when it comes to MMORPGs. And when people, because I had people in my chat yesterday coming out and saying like, oh, Steven said, you know, beta the end of the year, you know, like, does that worry you? Like, do you think they're even going to be able to have beta? Well, they could if they rush, or they could. But I personally don't think so, because these things, these exploits, these dupes, these ban lists take away resources from the team to fix and to release, which means they're not making the content, or they're not fixing other systems, or, you know, doing things, or, you know, whatever the case is. And so I'm just in that mindset that when I really wanted the economy revamp and I had to wait from March all the way to fucking September, that put a lot of perspective in my mind. So now anytime I hear a date, I take it with the biggest grain of salt possible. But that's just how I do it. Okay, so what over under on Ashes reaching 100k players on 1.0? Over. I'll take that bet. Over. Easy over. I would say worldwide, easy. Let me see. Steven is learning a lot from this process as well. I also remember when he said the game will launch by 2020. Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, he was a complete noob then. Like, he said that in 2017 or 2018. And, you know, I just hope that the people that were at the company in those early years weren't gaslighting him. Because I would say that if especially knowing how little developers that he had then, and if they were telling him, oh yeah, we could definitely finish this whole game in just a couple of years, like, we're gonna work really hard, like that's just some ultra level gaslighting, in my opinion, you know. To be fair, they probably need a few practice runs cleaning these messes. 100%. It will happen again at post launch. No, I hope it doesn't, but I think you're right. I mean, they need to. This is why, and I agree with you, Zabek, when you said this. Like, I don't think they should wipe right now. They need to learn how to fix this without having to resort to a wipe. They really need to focus on that, because it really worries me if they keep just resorting to, oh shit, went fucking south, let's just wipe it all up again and start over. Like, because post launch, I don't think they're going to have that luxury. I don't. Like, I don't think they're going to have that luxury. I think they need to figure out, like, dupes and exploits and problems and things like that. Like, they need to get that shit under control. Oh, was that Cole? They hardly did any and got like 32K and with a shit early access launch. Yeah, exactly. Like, people are always excited to play MMO launches, even if they're not really excited about the MMO that launched. When they start seeing, like, and MMO players are so begrudgingly about this, because I saw people saying like, oh, I don't want to play New World when it came out or whatever, but they saw all of their favorite streamers playing it and they're like, well, how bad can it fucking be? Let me just buy it for $40 and who gives a shit? Like, that's how MMO players are. Like, and Ashes is going to be the same fucking way. But I really do feel like, especially if they do the Oceanic servers and you get fucking Russia, Germany, Brazil, Korea, Australia, you get all those countries along with the NA, along with North America. Like, bro, I feel like this game could be pretty fucking big, to be honest with you. Like, I think this game could be pretty. I feel like this game could actually potentially stand among the big ones. Like, I do. Oh, people play Bless online. Yeah, that's so true. Losing all the UE4 tools is what really hurt, having to remake them all. Yes. I've had a conversation with the devs, and yeah, that really fucking hurt. But that's something they just had to do. They had to do it over. I failed. I farmed all day, filled 3 tune inventories with GM bags and can't turn any of it into, because turn-ins are broken. Oh my God. Yes. The fucking buy-ins. I saw that they're actually broken. They definitely need practice removing the cancer without resetting the patient. Yeah, 100%. Brazil here, dude. Welcome, brother. Welcome, man. And like I said, I've talked to Lineker, and a lot of people watch Lineker. A lot of the Brazilians, they go hard in games like this. They love the PvP, and I think that Brazil is potentially going to be probably as big or even bigger than NA. I really do. I think if Ashes could truly figure out its PVX design, give PvPers what they truly want, give PvEers what they truly want, and make both sides of it fun and engaging, I think we have a fucking success on our hands. Like, I do. But it's going to be a lot to figure out, and it's going to be a lot to finagle and to adjust. But if they take the time to listen to our feedback and to implement what we're saying, I feel like we actually can get there. Let me see. This game has huge potential. However, over the last year, I have lost, not gained, faith that this will be the game you can invest in. And that's fine. Like, I've talked to several people who have at that same exact sentiment. I think if the lower your hype goes, the more you're not. The only person who can actually get more disappointed is me, actually. If we're talking about me and you in a scenario, I'll actually be more disappointed than you will be. Because if you have no faith and you kind of don't care, well, I do care and I do have faith. So if anybody's setting themselves up for failure, potentially, it's me. But like I said, I've had a conversation with the devs. I know the kind of passion they have. I know the ambition they have. I know the kind of work ethic they have. And just like anything else when it comes to gaming or fixing anything in a game takes time. Like, people say like, oh, they have like, 250 developers. Yes. But for how massive this game is, that's a fucking drop in the bucket. Like, it just is. Brazil loves shit. BR loves shit so much. There's a bunch of sweaty BR guilds. Nice to see. Yeah. MC Brazil loves MMOs and the partnership it has. We are against dupes and fucked up shit. Yeah, no, 100%. I think your hat says it all. Yeah, man. I mean, I am here to make MMOs great. I want MMOs and I want Ashes to be great. I want Ashes to be a really nice fucking MMO. I want it to stand among the big MMOs. Like if we can have a conversation, you know, because most of the time it's always like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, whatever. But when people say, well, what about PvP? Like, what about a PvP MMO? You know, well, clearly not going to fucking recommend WoW. You know what I'm saying? But most people say Albion. And I think if Ashes can replace Albion as the PvP MMO, that to me is a huge fucking success. Huge. And again, Albion has a pretty fucking big player base. They do. I think they're on Steam, but I don't think they're exclusively on Steam. At least I don't think so. I think they still have their own launcher, correct? Oh, Uncommon Zinc. That's what I fucking want. I want it. I want all the zinc. LMAO Ashes will not replace Albion. I'm not saying it will replace Albion, but what I'm hoping happens is that people would rather recommend Ashes as the PvP MMO than Albion. Because Albion and Ashes, I think, are going to be almost like two different sides of the PvP coin in that sense. Like it just depends on what kind of PvP you're looking for. And I think even if Ashes could be among the conversation with Albion, I think that's also a success too. Because really, I mean, who's recommending Mortal Online 2 to players? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the other thing. Like, some people just don't even mention MMOs because they're not even worth mentioning. And I think if Ashes is among the MMOs that isn't even mentioned, I think we're in a pretty bad state. Two different games for sure, also in a sense. Yeah, like I said, as a PvEer, I might be off base, right? I might be off base, but I just hope that we can at least have Ashes in the PvP conversation along with Albion. Like that would be my hope. Mortal Online 2 players don't even recommend Mortal Online 2. Yeah, I know. We have a couple people in Guild that have played Mortal Online 2 and it's just like, I don't think you should play it. It's not going to happen. Albion is hardcore PvP, full gear / loot drop. Ashes is barely a PvP at this point. Well, but I'm not talking at this point. I'm talking the actual launch of Ashes of Creation. Because yes, if we were to compare Albion to current Ashes of Creation, like it's kind of a fucking joke. I mean, so yeah, no, I'm not comparing Ashes at its current point in time today. What I'm comparing is the 1.0 Ashes of Creation design intent, because I hope they intend to stick with that design and I hope they execute it correctly. But if that design intent is there on 1.0, I think it can stand along Albion Online. I think it can. And I hope it does, is my point. Oh man, there's so much granite up here. I love it. If Albion was 3D, we'd all be playing it. Yeah. Albion's number one problem is the fact that it's a mobile game. I mean, I'm not a fan of mobile games. I mean, every time I hear of a game that's like linked, it's like, you can play it on your computer or you can play it on your mobile phone. Like, it's not really an enticing isometric makes me want to die. I don't mind isometric. I mean, I play like Path of Exile and mostly Last Epoch, and you know, ARPGs are kind of infamous for isometric, and even Lost Ark was like that. But I don't mind the isometric. I just don't. It's not my preferred. I'll say that. I like 3D. I like this. Like this to me is what I fucking like, and yeah. Isometric is okay when it's Pokemon. Well, yeah, maybe. It's available via its own client, Steam, Epic Games Store, iOS, and Android. Yeah, thanks, Jamin, for that. I knew it wasn't exclusively on Steam. So when people always mention the Steam numbers and regarding Albion, I'm like, well, that's not the full. That's not all the players. You know, like I said, Albion does have a lot of players. I didn't even know it was on mobile, but I knew it had more players than what it was showing on Steam. That's for sure. Albion reskinned its Ashes combat with no pay to win. That's what we want. I mean, but I don't know, Zybek, is that what you want? Let me see. I mean, it depends on what you consider PvP. If attacking anyone without consequence is what you consider PvP, then Ashes Corruption is overtuned at the moment. If you mean wars, sieges, etc., it's small. Well, and I think that's why we're wanting that's why I'm mostly talking about the final design, because Zybeck knows, like, there is going to be potentially, like, once they fix caravans, once they fix the other sort of PvP problems right now that he was talking about in his video, once they add military nodes, once they lessen corruption, because right now it is purposefully overtuned for the sake of testing, but once that is actually lessened, and once there's actual incentives to be a combatant, and once there are incentives to go into lawless zones or territories or lawless events that occur, you're going to see a whole different world in PvP and Ashes of Creation. But there's just a lot more to that coin, because it's not just PvP, it's PvE. And there's a lot of PvE things missing for us players too, that once all of those things are in and in tandem and in a synergy with each other, that's where Ashes is really going to fucking shine. And I think people are severely underestimating that synergy in the full on paper intent. Now they could fumble it, like, in practicality, but I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping that they listen to the feedback and they listen to what we're saying and they nail the intent of the essence of the paper design. Not so, dude. Thank you so much for the sub, brother, man. Thank you. What is that, Waxy? Jesus Christ, dude. What are you doing, brother? Also good to see you, man. I do like Albion's drop gear going into the loot table system. See, I've never played Albion, so I don't know. I know it's a full loot system. I know they say that it's really pretty easy to get or to make gear in the game. Maybe not the best gear, because it's a full loot game, right? So it's like if you lose all your gear, then you got to go back to the drawing board and start over with shit. But I mean, me personally, I've heard people talk about potentially having settlement ZOIs in a kind of rotating lawless zone. And so in P1 and in P2, the desert, mostly just this area, because, or actually I think it was just this area because that only existed. None of that existed yet. And then also the tropics, which I think this only existed, this one ZOI. But basically what a ZOI is a zone of influence. So when you see a lawless zone, let me see if any of them are up. There's literally not one lawless zone up. I thought there would just be at least one. Okay, so imagine, which this, let's just say this is a fucking lawless zone. So you see this like circle. Now the circle like should be bigger, right? So let's say it's this whole fucking thing that's a lawless event. There are no lawless zones. Yeah, I know. But let's just say this is a lawless zone. So what I've heard recommended, and as a PvEer, I wouldn't really mind this, is that they want a whole settlement's ZOI, which is the zone of influence. So if you see this particular one here in Seahook, so imagine this entire purple area that surrounds Seahook. So this whole area becomes a lawless settlement for a period of time. And then once that goes off, then there's a cooldown, and then another settlement somewhere else goes into a lawless settlement. I think that would actually be pretty fucking cool, in my opinion. I think certain safe zones like the settlement itself could be cool, but having the whole zone be something for players to play in, I think would be interesting. And then those could have mayor mandates for when their settlement becomes a lawless settlement, to have certain boons as to like luck is doubled, gear drops at POIs is doubled, right? So you have certain things that can make even constitution be doubled on your character. Like there could be a lot of reasons why you want to go into those areas, especially if there's a certain POI that's like, oh man, I want to go, if like, as an example, like, I don't know where the hawkbow is, but imagine wherever the hawkbow is, and that particular POI, like let's say it's here. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm wrong because I just don't know where the hawkbow is. But let's say the Tangled Post, this whole area becomes a lawless settlement for an hour, right? Or 2 hours or something like that. My whole thing with that is I think it was pitched initially for even starting zones to have this. I don't want that. I think, especially from levels 1 to 25, I think this, especially the starting zone, should be kind of off limits. I think what the starting zones need to have is what our current lawless areas are. So you need to be able to dip your toes into PvP in my scenario and basically have like only a small section of a lawless area. Like as an example, like you can have, I don't know, this area here is a lawless area for an hour or so. It's not the whole ZOI, it's just this circle area here. And so in the starting areas, you just have these introductions to these systems. And then from the end game zones, which will be the desert, the June Dark, the Badlands, the Tropics, the Redwood area, all of those zones would have this rotation of settlement, lawless, as a lawless settlement zone. I think that would be pretty cool. I think I would personally like that. Crafters would hate that. I mean, potentially, I mean, again, there's going to be friction of PvEers to PvPers, like I do. And again, I'm not saying they have to be indefinite. You know, I think having a lawless settlement for an hour or two is it's not bad. Like, again, like just don't do shit there for an hour or two and then come back later. Like it's not a big deal. Like, I don't know, like some people, like some PvEers completely exacerbate PvP to be this like demonizing thing. And it's like, bro, you're playing a fucking game that's PvX in design. There's going to be some PvP you might run into. You're never not going to fucking escape it. But that's just my thing. I would be cool with that, knowing where I can avoid going. Yeah, and you could even have like a warning system. So if you're in Seahook and it's going to transform into a lawless settlement, you can have like a 15-minute like warning to be like, hey, this entire ZOI is going to be entering into a lawless, becoming a lawless contested zone. Please leave if you don't want to be flagged as a combatant. Like, or head to the nearest settlement or go to the Seahook settlement, because that will be like a safe zone, and log out for an hour or two. Come back later, go walk your dog, go make some food, go watch a fucking show, you know, come back and you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, or if you just want to do shit in the settlement, you know, then do shit in the settlement. Like, you're still safe within the settlement boundaries. But as soon as you start leaving, that's when you're going to start getting flagged. You know, that's when you're going to be like, all right, turn it into a combatant in 3, 2, 1, boom. You know, I think they should make it lawless POI rotations and increase drop rates and rarity to get people to risk coming in. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's I don't know if you just got in, Zyrus, but yeah, that's what I just pitched right now. This wasn't my idea, by the way. This was someone in Discord, but I'm just modifying it because he wanted it to be this way, even in starting zones. I just want starting zones to be something to where the game doesn't automatically thrust you into PvP, even at level 1 through 25, but there is still PvP things you can do in the starting zones. But they're just smaller in scope, really. And I think honestly too, like, to me, the world event system, I want certain events to actually be, so you'll have your lawless territories, right? Which we know what those are. But I want events to be like, let's say there's a gathering event that is a combatant gathering event, right? So as an example, there is a world event that popped up in Jova. It's a circle. As soon as you enter the circle, you're going to be flagged as a combatant, but there are a bunch of fucking mining nodes that spawned, and they have like 2x luck on them or whatever. So as a miner, as someone that, you know, wants to go and gather that shit, I'm going to go in there, but I'll be forced to combat in PvP. So it's like you're trying to get all the mines, but you're also then killing people and getting their materials and, like, you know, trying to like get as much as you can and fucking leave. You know what I mean? Like, I want stuff like that. Like, I want fun incentive reasons, even for me as a PvEer, to get into the PvP scribble at my own will, kind of thing, right? So it's like, I am personally not a fan of just PvPing for the sake of PvPing. I want reasons to go to those like events. Like, if it can tickle my PvE fancy, I'll probably do it. You know, I might get my jaw kicked in, but hey, I'll still do it. You know, but that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the things that are beyond just lawless zones. Lawless zones to me are fucking boring. Now, as a PvEer, I want different events to incur different things. Like, and I don't mind events that aren't like, you can have a gathering event that doesn't flag you as a combatant, right? So if you are a true PvEer and you see a gathering event that popped up, but it's a combatant one, then you might just avoid it. Just continue gathering the way you normally were doing, the way I'm doing right now. But, you know, I think having those kind of incentives are important. And I think incentives in MMOs are always tend to be fun. And so there's risk there, but there's definitely reward there too. And who's not to say that I might kick in some jaws myself, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's what I want to get better with. You know, I want to get better in PvP. I want to get better with my class, and doing PvP in that way does that, you know? So I just think people just don't like losing. And some people know that they're just not good. Like myself, I know I'm not good at PvP. I need to get way better. I got to get back in that mindset of PvP, and it's going to take some time, but I want to get there, you know? But the game is not at its full map size. Are you talking about just during this phase? No, I'm talking about like any zone that isn't an end game zone. So like right now, the two starting zones is the Riverlands and the Anvils on the Western continent. Okay. So we still are missing the Redwood area, which will be right next to the Anvils. Right. So here, basically this whole sky here, and then the Badlands, which will be probably here. So there's two land masses that are missing here. Once we have those two land masses, I don't know if they're going to do Sajoma, which Sajoma is the island above here, the snowy island. If they add that, then that's 3 technically. But I just want the rotating settlement POIs, the lawless POIs, to only be in non-starting areas. So Riverlands and Anvils are off limits. Those will have lawless areas, like the small ones, not the entire ZOI ones. Like, and again, this is not something Trump is doing. This is feedback that I would hope they might do, because I think this could be a really good like I don't know if Zyback, I mean, what do you think about that? Would you like something like that, in the sense of wanting an entire settlement ZOI to be lawless for a certain period of time and have like real incentives? So you want a PvE server? That's what you're saying? Are you trolling me? Like, what? The game at the moment is balanced more for group PvP, so 1v1 isn't great for certain classes. I think that's what lawless was supposed to be. I think so too. I think the incentives were just off, possibly. I think, you know, that to me would be a really good compromise, basically, for what we have. Again, there's other forms of PvP too. Like what I'm suggesting isn't going to be the only form of PvP. There's still going to be caravans, which are roaming battlegrounds, basically. There's supposed to be world events that are supposed to contain PvP. There's military nodes that are going to have the Colosseum and the arenas. Like there's going to be, and again, once corruption is lessened, you're going to have more and more people like go corrupted and actually flag, because it's not going to take away your gear being corruption level 1. So yeah, like I'm not advocating for a PvE server. I think that's that's not what I'm doing. As a PvEer, I think I've been, I mean, I don't know if Zyback agrees with me here, but as a PvEer, I've been pretty much like advocating for PvP. As a PvEer, I'm not one of those PvEers that is trying to abolish PvP. And again, a lot of PvEers that I've heard really want PvP to be gone, or PvP to be as lessened as possible, or to have like ultimate protection all the time. But I know that's not within the spirit of Ashes. That's not what Ashes was ever intended to be. In WoW PvE servers, you still had PvP arena BGs. It seems you want a full game that can be played without the fear of PvP. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am still aware that even in the Riverlands, a person can go combatant on me and kill me, or I can be a combatant and kill them. Like if you were playing on a PvP server in WoW, like that's how it worked. if you're playing on a PvE server, no one can ever come in and start harming you as in a PvE server. That was impossible. Like you could only PvP in a battleground or an arena. But that's not what I'm advocating for. Like I again, safe is a relative term. The reason why it feels very safe right now is because corruption is completely overtuned. And that's again on purpose. Oh man. Look at what we have here, guys. We got a bot. Oh wait, how that was weird. I could have flagged him. Interesting. That's not really true. Pre-Alpha 2 was not a PvP game. The announcement of any lawless didn't happen until the announcement of UE 5. Nusi, rarely do PvEers want to play another WoW. Well, it's kind of funny, like people, especially in the WoW community, is like people are waiting for WoW 2, and it's like, bro, like, I don't know what people's version of a WoW 2 is, but oh, you better fucking not. You son of a bitch. And I can't flag to kill him. He's level 8. He has PvP protection. Some bitch. Hold on. What's this dude's name? WKM. So stupid. Sorry, I was just typing to someone real quick, letting him know. Letting him know about this botter. Get this botter out of here. I'm in the same boat, how to report bots. So the real way, let me go Ash, oh, not Ashes Codex, ashesofcreation.com. To me, the way to report bots is so tedious. Hold on one second. Am I logged in? Wait, where the fuck is my phone? Shit, give me 1 second. I left it in the living room. 1 second. And it was in my pocket. I guess it fell out of my chair. 1 second. I gotta put in my authenticator code. All right. Well, 1 second anyway. I'll put on some music. I'm just gonna go use the bathroom real fast. Sorry about that. PvE is a matter of course. PvP is outside the norm. Everyone should be good at PvE while PvP takes a separate skill set. It's not really hard to no life grind mobs all day. Would you say Steven did not implement a system to easily report bots? No, they did not. You have to go to, let me see, support. Was it ashleycreation.com? In game. Submit a request. What do you need help with? Would like to report a player. Hold on, let me see. Just want to make sure my personal email doesn't come up. Okay. There we go. Reason for in-game report. Technically be botting, so I'm going to put other. And then you can put your username account. I'll do this last. My character name. Gladys. And then what's that guy's name? It was like X. Hold on, I typed it out. WKM. So WKM, realm, shoal, subject, bot player, I'll just put bot player. Description. He is in a pattern of mining outside the bridge area in Jova. He is a level 8 summoner. And is doing a rotating pattern of mining that is very unnatural. He is a bot for sure. Let me see, enter details, attachments. Please provide as much detail. If you're getting an error message, please include a screenshot of the entire screen, including the error message. Okay. I don't need to do that. And then let me just put in my username real fast. And then submit. And that's it. Your request was submitted. So if you, here, I'll put it in chat right here. If you need to report, if you have any people, like that's how you would have to do the report right now. It's super tedious. Like again, like my hope would be to literally just click on portrait, right click, report player. Like bam, right here. Like just have something in game you can just be doing real simple, real easy. Because yeah, I feel like the botting problem is just, if it's going to get more and more out of hand, the more attention Ashes of Creation continues to get. Like right now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is as least botting problem we've had or will ever have. From this point, from this day forward, botting will only get more and more out of hand. I don't know if I said that correctly, but because we've had botting before, of course, in phase 1 and phase 2. But what I'm trying to say is that as the game grows, as the game gets better, as updates get more and more, like botting would only continue to get more and more out of hand unless Intrepid does something about it. That much easier than right clicking on someone and clicking report. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. So let me see if there's any sports fishing events. I really hope there is. What if all these people are botting so Intrepid can learn how to deal with it before launch? I mean, yeah, I mean, I think Intrepid needs to learn how to deal with certain issues that are going to progressively just keep popping up. Botting is going to be one of them. Like, you're never ever going to completely eliminate botting, but you need to know the patterns and the different parameters your tool set has to be in on the back end for you to identify that pattern as quickly as possible to then eradicate the problem as quickly as possible. Like, that's the thing. How are there 3 granite nodes in the same fucking one? Jesus Christ. How many were in that one? It's like a rock within a rock. Can't you use the bug in game to report? So from what I was told in the creator chat, that the way I just did it is the best way to do it. Reporting people using the bug, the /bug, is not going to be the best way to do it, because the CS team and the devs have different, like, they're 2 different groups basically. So if you were to do it through the /bug, what's going to end up happening is that dev or whoever on that team will then have to copy and forward that to the right team that takes care of like the banning or the account search for that. Shout out to my homie Wreck Buttholes. I've seen that with the trees, 3 trees stacked right on top of each other. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, sometimes I've never had a mine be that deep, but I have gotten mines that were like 2 trees, but I've never had 4 mines all on top of each other. That was kind of nutty. Let's see. Oh, but yeah, holy shit, dude, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. God, that felt like a blink of an eye. that passed by real fucking fast. Jesus. See, look at this dude. Wants to sell 7 out of 7 top Rosarium, all rare. I don't know. I just the word Rosarium to me is so like, I don't know, like I just wouldn't want to be that person to purchase Rosarium gear even in trade chat right now, like on any fucking server. I just feel like that one set is tainted. The name is tainted. I'm afraid. I'm really afraid. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out. I'm going to go get the baby monitor for my wife so she can sleep and I'll take care of the kids. You see, I have a hard time having fun in Ashes right now. Feels like farm/gather simulator. PvE is not rewarding enough. PvP is mainly griefing. I had fun leveling, but that's all. Yeah, Luna, I would say that if you have reached your peak with Ashes right now, I would come back within a month. Like, check back in February, sometime mid-February, and see if we're on the 0.20 update, or 0.19, sorry, 0.19. Because right now we're on 0.18, which is the Harbingers update. But, check back in for the next major update, see what's been added, what's been changed. Those patch notes are usually pretty extensive. So if you saw the 0.18 update, then you saw like how big those ones are. So I would definitely recommend to just, if you did everything you wanted to do, you're not having fun, then there's really no reason for you to continue. Like, leave your feedback, do what you need, do what you want to do. But hey, if there's other games that you have absolutely no interest in and you just want to dabble in Ashes, go right ahead. But I wouldn't put more into it, because that's only going to get you more and more frustrated, because the game state's not going to change probably at all this month. I would say the next major update is probably going to be sometime in February. So I would just hold off for a little bit. But, it is what it is. Like, I the leveling is fun the first time, but then, yeah, you go into other issues, other problems, you start recognizing the kinks in the armor, and it just isn't fun for everybody. But Crafting isn't fun either. Well, crafting has a lot of its issues too. That is for sure. Yeah, I guess a healthy break is the way to go. I leveled 3 classes up to max to test them, and I think I'm good for now. Yeah, man, that seems good to me too. level 3 level 25s will do that to you 100%. But yeah, I would just take a break for now and just come back for the next major update. And if that major update doesn't really have anything, or if you see streams and it doesn't really seem much for you to come back to, then wait another month. You know what I mean? Right now, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, right? That's what kind of what we're all in right now currently. But guys, thank you all so much for coming in, hanging out with me for these couple of hours. I felt like the stream was very good discussions, a lot of stuff that were people saying in chat. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, if you want to follow my channel, if you're watching me on Twitch, just hit that heart button. I go live, or I try to go live every single day to talk about Ashes of Creation, play a little bit, talk about things in the community, talk about problems, issues, whatever concerns, answering new player questions. I'm done for everything. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like I said, whether you like watching on Twitch or YouTube, I stream on both. Yeah. And let me see, who is anybody streaming in the Ashes category right now, which I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people. Saturday night. There's Sonny, there's Dusty. There's a bunch of people I don't know. Let me who? Zick. All right, he has 2 people. All right, I'll go rate him. Hopefully he's a good dude. I don't know him personally, but I don't mind rating people. All right, guys. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow, and you have yourself a great Saturday. And be safe. Do smart things, smart decisions. Take care, guys.
We can't go closer to Jova, dude. It's so bad. I'm literally just teleporting around. I'm gonna die. Yo, Vladis Gaming, what's up, bro? You've caught us at a sketchy moment.
Oh, I'm gonna die, actually.
Oh no, Zolly boy!
No, dude.
No!
Dude, I can't kite in, dude.
It is so laggy right there, dude. Yo, Vladis Gaming, appreciate the raid. What's up, homies? Party at 26. Welcome in, my friends. Hello, hello. We are dealing with some intense Jova input lag. We need to get a little further away, I think. It's not so bad up here. Dude, I appreciate you, bro. Wait, let me give you a shout out. I'll have to check out you next time you're up as well. I'll give you a follow. Really appreciate the raid, my man. Wait, I fucked it up. It says the shout. It says the channel you're shouting out does not exist. That's not right. There we go. Yo, I'm Trevin. Appreciate the follow, bro. Welcome in.